Arriving home from school, your brother greets you with a dark scowl. Grabbing you by the arms, he pins them behind you. When you open your mouth to protest, your father raises a gun to your face. Your father stares you down, coldness in his eyes. These two men meant to protect you, care for you, are going to kill you. You ask what you have done, unable to think what they could possibly be accusing you. The only answer you receive is your father pulling the trigger. Honor killings of women and girls are a plague among the Islamic nations, including the self-proclaimed democratic nation of Pakistan. It is Pakistan's greatest shame. So to begin with, I'm going to talk about a high-profile death, a murder of a celebrity of sorts in Pakistan, who was killed by her brother and a cousin for honor. So let me just switch to the video. And you will see. Alright, and I got another clip to go along with it from the same video. Let's see what her father has to say. So as you can see, so the celebrity, she was online just doing like sexy videos, putting this like alternate personality out there, and she was making a lot of money. She was very famous in Pakistan. They were comparing her to be as like the Kim Kardashian of Pakistan. So when she was murdered, it was very high profile, and if you watch the whole video, you'll see that her parents were actually quite upset that she was murdered. Her mother gets very choked up. The dad calls her his little flower. And as you saw in that last bit there when she was interviewing the father of Kandil, he wanted his son to get the death sentence. So let's move on to the next one. So you can see here Kandil's death was quite heavily mourned. This is her funeral procession. So in 2016, more than 1,100 women were killed in Pakistan. It's safe to say that there are many more cases which are not reported to the police or by newspapers, and that is a quote by Muhammad Hanif. To continue on that strain of how many women get murdered, there are many ways a woman can bring shame to the family. In past years, they have been killed for singing at weddings, texting a boy, refusing to marry someone, and sometimes for taking a selfie. These are all things that happen in our society every single day. I think every single teenager in high school would be murdered for this because of all these things. I think I wouldn't have passed my own teens if I'd been in Pakistan and part of this honor killing. Um, and it also, in another quote from Muhammad Hanif, there are many ways to get away with murdering a woman. It used to be easier. The killer could claim that it was an honor killing. The woman had brought shame to the family. The police were understanding, judges lenient, and the law itself provided loopholes by calling it murder of passion. So in the society, they have a lot of like clans and tribal laws, and they seem to allow those clans and tribal laws to overrule any other legal things put in place. And so these honor killings are done, and people around them keep their mouths shut and don't talk about them because, according to their tribal law and customs, it was okay because this woman shamed the family in some way. We can see in this picture here. I got this from The Guardian, and The Guardian article, and it says a 25-year-old pregnant woman was beaten to death by her family for marrying against the family's wishes. The husband says the family approved, but as you can see, they changed their mind, or something happened, and this woman is now dead along with his child. So let's go to and another quote from The Independent: Pakistani man kills 5 female relatives because his wife was having an affair. So there was another article. It was, the title of it was, a Pakistani man kills all these females because he thought his wife was having an affair while he was off working in Saudi Arabia. He had no proof of it other than just a photo that he saw with her sitting next to a man while he was gone. So, okay. So it talks about, so back on the other lady that was just killed for when she was pregnant, it said she was the 12th in a fortnight linked to honor killings recorded by the Pakistani authorities. So that was the ones that were recorded. That doesn't count the ones that people kept quiet. So if that was 12 in a fortnight, how many more are there out there that are not being recorded? So I need to wrap this up because I've hit my 5-minute mark. So this inspired an uprising. And after Candid's death, the government did actually come out and pass a legislation against honor killings in 2016. It introduced imprisonment for life for convicted murderers, and also closed a bunch of legal loopholes that allowed the killers to win freedom if the relatives forgave them. So they're no longer allowed to be forgiven. The problem with this, though, is there are so many honor killings that are being kept under wraps because of these local tribal beliefs and customs and laws. So although these women are getting killed, there is still very little justice, and there needs to be a way to infiltrate into these tribal customs and break this murder mentality that it's okay to kill these women just because they texted a boy, or they looked at a boy, or they took a selfie. These are just things that we should be able to do without repercussions, and it's going to take a long time for this to break because it's so deeply ingrained into the society that this is okay. So, it's a long way off. There are my references, and that is the end.